Coach, the first day of spring practice, I'm sure you're happy to get back at it. A couple big picture questions for you. Last couple of years, it's been sort of an underdog program, everything against them. Now you're going to have to manage expectations a little bit, potentially a top ranking coming up. How do you try and get the team focused on the right mindset?
Well, the good thing is that if you go back to last year, everything that we talked about was just about our guys preparing really well. And so people say, well, there is expectations in big games now, but these guys were playing in big games last year in Eugene, you know, versus a team potentially going to the national championship. Notre Dame in what was billed as their biggest game of the year, and the helmets and night game and bye week and all that. So these guys have been in those situations, and we just need to approach it the same way, and don't buy into the hype and don't buy into all the rankings, because that means nothing as far as whether you're going to win the games. As
you well know, when a program gets good, other programs come along and try to poach their coaches off of them. You lost 3 in the off-season. Talk about how you went about filling those vacancies.
Well, we just wanted to make sure that we really made sure that we hired very good teachers and not care as much about NFL experience, because we have enough on our current staff, and I think our staff recruits really well. So let's make sure that we get guys that can really teach our players to play really well, especially as we look at the 2 defensive hires, you know, with the linebackers, with so many young linebackers. In the secondary, we've got to play better though, so those are very critical hires for us.
As you look at the 15 spring practices, in the big picture, what do you hope to accomplish?
Well, we've got to figure out our offensive tackles and get them playing really well. We've got to figure out our defensive tackles and get them playing really well in a rotation in there. And then after that, really develop depth at our other spots and figure out our backup quarterback.
Yeah, in about a month, your left tackle is going to be drafted, probably 3rd overall, so there's a major vacancy there. Who are the spring candidates? Is that a battle between Kevin Graff and Andre Walker?
Well, today when we go out, Kevin will go to the left and Andre will go to the right, and then we'll see how that works and just move from there.
As we look at the running back depth, that was an issue you talked about a little bit on signing day. Are there some candidates, some guys that you want to take a look at in spring?
Yeah, not really outside of what you would know, you know, with Curtis and DJ, and then Buck Allen will be good because he's had a great offseason. Really has become one of our stronger players on our team, so it'll be good to see what he can do.
Yeah, you mentioned backup quarterback. Different scenario this year because you're not trying to redshirt those 2 guys. Is it even more of a competition and potentially an opportunity in the fall to get some guys in the game and see what they can do?
Yeah, we don't have to have a plan about redshirting 1 or 2, or you know, and so we're just moving forward and let it play out.
How about your starting quarterback? How do you challenge him, keep him engaged, and start talking about that development of giving him more to do? Does that start in the spring?
Sure it does. And you know, we've researched some ideas to this point that we're going to implement over the next 15 practices, some things he hasn't done before to look at with him and with the skilled guys, and so I'm looking forward to really challenging him.
Your defensive captain too, T.J. McDonald, another guy that came back. Is he somebody that you want to try and use in different ways this season? And again, does that start in the spring?
Yeah, you know, he's going to, you know, TJ will move him around a little bit, and really he ended up playing really well towards the end of the year, and so just like the rest of our team, we've got to build from there and continue to even do better and look at some different things with them.
And part of spring too is looking at some of the young guys. Is this a big spring potentially for George Farmer to try and show where he fits in this team? Yeah,
it's really big. You know, for George to focus on one position for the most part, that receiver will be good for him, and he's fully healthy right now, so you know, hopefully he'll be one of the big storylines.
Not a lot of youth or really opportunity defensively in the back 7, but that front 4. Are you more looking to try and develop pass rushers or run stuffers? What's more of a concern as you look at that?
Well, both. You know, we're going to be a little undersized probably there, which is okay because of what our conference has gone to. You know, there's so much spread out systems and throwing the ball that it's not as important to be big anymore like it used to be. So we'll be a little undersized, but that's kind of the way the conference has gone.
Yeah, give us an idea of a couple of the redshirt guys that really didn't get talked about a whole lot last year, and Hayward and Townsend. Who else can we look at in that competition and try and all of a sudden step up in the D-line?
Well, I think you mentioned 2 right off the bat. You know, I mean, Greg Townsend, who came to us playing really well, had him in our camps, was very highly recruited, and so we'll look at him inside and outside probably and see how he does. Christian Hayward's still recovering from surgery, so it'll take him a little bit longer. And we moved Cody Temple over there, who's had a really good offseason, so it'll be exciting.
In special teams, sometimes Coach Baxter doesn't like to do a whole lot of kicking, and obviously you're happy with Andre Haidari. How about the punting competition? Is there one? Cal Negretti had a strong season, but you do have a scholarship punter sitting behind him.
Yeah, we do, and so that's going to be an exciting competition there. Like you said, we don't do a whole lot of kicking in the spring. It's more you know, fundamental core work for our guys, but that'll be a good competition all the way through fall.
What's the feeling around this office? Good energy? Does everyone sort of antsy to get back out there?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're excited, to get back out and, be able to work with, like you mentioned, so many guys that redshirted that we haven't truly worked at because they were really on service teams. So it'll be exciting today.
And the off-season workouts, conditioning, you happy with how everything has gone since we last saw you at the end of last season?
Yeah, we're very happy about where our team's at mentally. To go out there and see how far ahead of 2 years ago when we had to go out there, it was like pulling teeth to get them to finish drills, to get them to buy in, you go out there now, you don't even have to yell very much. They kind of do it themselves.
All right, we look forward to talking to you later today after putting one practice in the books. Thanks.
All right.